I was a woman who always had it together, strong, independent, always smiling. People saw me as confident, capable, but behind my smile a storm was brewing, a silent struggle I hid from the world. I loved my work, my friends, my life. I felt grateful for every moment, but slowly, subtly, fear began to creep in, like a whisper at first, then a roar I couldn't ignore. Anxiety. It wasn't a word I understood, not then, not in myself. It started small, restlessness, sleepless nights. I would lie awake, staring at the ceiling and my mind racing with thoughts I couldn't control. The darkness of the room seemed to amplify my worries, making them feel larger than life. I tried to brush it off, telling myself it was just a phase, something that would pass with time, but deep down I knew something was changing. A tightness in my chest I couldn't explain. It felt like a weight pressing down on me, making it hard to breathe. Every breath was a struggle, and the more I tried to ignore it, the more intense it became. I would clutch my chest, hoping the pressure would ease, but it never did. It was as if my body was trying to tell me something I wasn't ready to hear. I dismissed it as stress, overwork. My job was demanding, and I was always pushing myself to meet deadlines and exceed expectations. Late nights at the office became the norm, and I convinced myself that the exhaustion and chest pain were just side effects of my dedication. But no matter how hard I worked, the feelings didn't go away. In fact, they seemed to grow stronger with each passing day. Pushed myself harder, tried to regain control. But the worry grew. Everyday situations became overwhelming. Simple tasks that I used to handle with ease now felt like insurmountable challenges. I would find myself pacing back and forth, my mind racing with thoughts of failure and inadequacy. The more I tried to regain control, the more it slipped through my fingers, meeting new people, speaking in public, once effortless, now impossible hurdles. I used to thrive in social settings, enjoying the company of friends and strangers alike. But now, the thought of interacting with others filled me with dread. I would stand on the sidelines, watching as others engaged in conversation, feeling like an outsider. Public speaking, which I once did with confidence, became a source of intense anxiety. My voice would tremble and my mind would go blank. My heart would race, my palms would sweat. Shame washed over me. I felt like I was losing control of my own body, and the embarrassment was overwhelming. I would look around, hoping no one noticed my trembling hands or flushed face. But the more I tried to hide it, the more obvious it became. The shame was a constant companion, feeding into my fear and making it even harder to cope. What was happening to me? I would stare at my reflection, searching for answers in the eyes of the person looking back at me. But all I saw was confusion and fear. I felt like I was losing myself, becoming someone I didn't recognize. The person I used to be, confident and in control, seemed like a distant memory. I was trapped in a cycle of fear and self-doubt, unable to find a way out. I felt like a fraud, like everyone would discover my secret. I was convinced that if people knew what was really going on inside my head, they would see me as weak and incapable. I put on a brave face, pretending that everything was fine, but inside I was falling apart. The fear of being exposed was paralyzing, and it kept me from seeking the help I desperately needed. The fear was a constant companion, casting a shadow over everything. It followed me everywhere I went, a dark cloud that I couldn't escape. It tainted every aspect of my life, from my work to my relationships. I felt isolated and alone, convinced that no one could understand what I was going through. The fear had taken hold and I didn't know how to break free. My thoughts became my prison, racing, negative, relentless. What if? I can't. I'm not good enough. The doubts spiraled, feeding my anxiety. It was exhausting. I withdrew from friends, made excuses, avoided anything that triggered my fear. My world shrank, my joy dimmed. I was a prisoner in my own mind. I was desperate for a way out, but the shame kept me silent. I didn't want to be judged, to be seen as weak. So I suffered in silence, my secret growing heavier each day. Ignoring anxiety doesn't make it go away. It festers, grows stronger, takes a heavier toll. My physical health began to suffer. Headaches, fatigue, digestive issues. My relationships were strained. I pushed away the people who cared about me, convinced they wouldn't understand. The isolation deepened my despair. I felt broken, hopeless. The woman I used to be, the strong, vibrant woman, felt lost. I knew I couldn't continue like this. I had to find a way back to myself. One day, I stumbled upon an article about anxiety. It was a regular day, and I was aimlessly browsing through various articles online, not expecting to find anything particularly impactful. But then, something caught my eye. The headline spoke directly to me, as if it knew the silent battles I had been fighting. I clicked on it, my curiosity piqued, and began to read. As I read the words, I felt a flicker of recognition. The article described feelings and experiences that mirrored my own. It was as if someone had peered into my soul and articulated the chaos within. Each sentence resonated deeply, and I found myself nodding along, feeling a strange sense of comfort in the shared experience. These were my experiences, my feelings, finally given a name. It was a revelation I wasn't alone. For so long I had felt isolated in my struggles, believing that no one could possibly understand what I was going through, but here it was, in black and white, proof that others had walked this path before me. It was a powerful moment of connection and understanding. Millions of people struggled with anxiety. The article provided statistics and stories from individuals around the world, each one a testament to the widespread nature of this condition. It was both heartbreaking and comforting to know that I was part of a larger community, that my pain was not unique, but shared by many, and there was help available: therapy, medication, coping mechanisms. The article outlined various ways people had found relief and managed their anxiety. It spoke of therapy sessions that provided a safe space to talk, medications that helped balance the mind, and coping mechanisms like meditation and journaling that offered daily reprieve. It was a roadmap to recovery, a guide to finding peace amidst the turmoil. For the first time in a long time, I felt a glimmer of hope. The darkness that had clouded my mind began to lift, replaced by a faint but growing light. It was the realization that I didn't have to face this alone, that there were resources and people ready to help. This newfound hope was fragile, but it was there, and it was enough to make me believe in the possibility of a better future. I realized that seeking help wasn't weakness, it was courage. The article emphasized the strength it took to acknowledge one's struggles and reach out for support. It was a powerful reminder that asking for help was not a sign of failure, but a brave step towards healing. This shift in perspective was liberating, and it gave me the confidence to take action. It was the first step towards healing. With this newfound understanding and hope, I decided to seek professional help. I made an appointment with a therapist, determined to confront my anxiety head-on. Walking into that office was daunting, but it was also empowering. Each session became a step forward, a move towards reclaiming my life from the grip of anxiety. I deserved to feel better, to reclaim my life. The journey was not easy, and there were days when the progress felt slow, but I held on to the belief that I was worthy of happiness and peace. I began to incorporate self-care routines, practice mindfulness, and celebrate small victories. Each positive change reinforced my determination to keep moving forward, and I was finally ready to fight for it. The glimmer of hope had grown into a beacon, guiding me through the darkest times. I knew the road ahead would have its challenges, but I was no longer afraid. I was equipped with knowledge, support, and an unwavering resolve to reclaim my life. This was my journey, and I was ready to embrace it with open arms. Reaching out for help was the hardest, bravest thing I'd ever done. I found a therapist who listened without judgment, who helped me understand my anxiety. Therapy provided me with tools to manage my thoughts and emotions. I learned about mindfulness, deep breathing, and the power of self-compassion. It wasn't easy. There were setbacks, days when the anxiety threatened to overwhelm me, but I kept going. I was determined to heal. Slowly, gradually, I began to reclaim my life. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but a series of small, deliberate steps. Each day, I made a conscious effort to move forward, to let go of the past, and to embrace the present moment. I started to notice the beauty in the little things, the warmth of the sun on my face, the sound of birds singing in the morning, the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze. The fog of anxiety began to lift, replaced by a newfound sense of peace and clarity. It was as if a heavy weight had been lifted off my shoulders, allowing me to breathe freely for the first time in years. I found solace in the quiet moments, in the stillness of the early morning, and in the gentle embrace of nature. These moments became my sanctuary, a place where I could reconnect with myself and find inner peace. I discovered a strength within me I never knew I had. This strength was not about physical prowess, but about resilience, determination, and the ability to overcome adversity. It was about finding the courage to face my fears, to challenge my limitations, and to believe in myself. I realized that I was capable of so much more than I had ever imagined. I learned to challenge my negative thoughts, to replace them with positive affirmations. This was not an easy task, but with practice, it became a powerful tool in my journey towards self-discovery and healing. I began to write down my thoughts, to reflect on my experiences, and to find meaning in my struggles. Each positive affirmation became a stepping stone, guiding me towards a brighter, more hopeful future. I started practicing gratitude, focusing on the good in my life. I made it a habit to write down 3 things I was grateful for each day, no matter how small. This simple practice shifted my perspective, helping me to see the abundance in my life rather than the lack. I began to appreciate the little moments of joy, the kindness of others, and the beauty of the world around me. The world felt brighter, full of possibilities. I started to see opportunities where I once saw obstacles, and I began to believe in my ability to create a fulfilling and meaningful life. The future no longer seemed daunting, but exciting and full of potential. I felt a renewed sense of purpose, a drive to pursue my passions and to live life to the fullest. I reconnected with friends, embraced new challenges. I realized the importance of community, of surrounding myself with positive and supportive people who uplifted and inspired me. I also discovered the joy of trying new things, of stepping out of my comfort zone and exploring new interests. These experiences enriched my life, bringing me happiness and fulfillment. I was no longer defined by my anxiety. I had taken control of my life, and I was determined to live it on my own terms. I embraced my journey with all its ups and downs, and I learned to see my struggles as opportunities for growth. I became more resilient, more confident, and more at peace with myself. I was a survivor, a warrior. My journey had taught me that true strength comes from within, from the ability to persevere in the face of adversity and to find hope even in the darkest of times. I had discovered my inner strength, and it had transformed my life in ways I could never have imagined. I was ready to face the future with courage and confidence, knowing that I had the strength within me to overcome any challenge. If you're struggling with anxiety, please know you're not alone. It's okay to not be okay. Reach out for help. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, or mental health professional. There is no shame in seeking support. It takes courage to confront your fears, to choose healing. You deserve to live a life free from the grip of anxiety. Remember, you are stronger than you think. You are worthy of peace, joy, and a life filled with purpose. Recovery is a journey, not a destination. There will be good days and bad days, but with each step forward, you'll gain strength and resilience. Choose courage over comfort. Embrace vulnerability. Believe in your ability to heal. You are capable of overcoming anxiety and living a life filled with joy, connection, and meaning. Your story is not over yet. This is your chance to rewrite it.